All right, spotlight. All right, 시작. 박수. 박수 야매. 쇼머니.はい. Okay. はい. So jumping jacks, right? So obviously I'm not in gi pants, and the reason for that is this lesson plan is in sagi-ashi dachi, one-legged stance. And I have noticed every time I try to teach sagi-ashi dachi in gi pants, the straight cut does not show what the knee does. So for this class, and this class only, I'm wearing shorts. So this is not because I didn't do laundry, but this is an explicit reason to show the knee and how it moves in this class. Okay, ankle. So I remember particularly in master camp, reverse, Yaguchi sensei taught classes on stances. He spent a little more time on sagi-ashi than me. And I definitely after that class, I realized I wasn't doing it correct. And then it just so happened, like in master camp, the instructor's class is right before the black belt class. So there was my redemption. Yaguchi sensei also taught the other class. So I screwed up for the first hour and a half, but for the next hour and a half, I was able to figure it out. Now, I was pretty tired, but I was able to figure out how sagi-ashi worked a little better after 3 hours of training. Hips. So obviously this will not be a 3-hour class, but the idea is to figure out how sagi-ashi works. And it's a pretty interesting stance. Reverse. Not very practical, like Karate Kid, what's his name? Ralph Macchio standing in crane stance. That's not what we're doing here. Shoulders. But it is a good transition stance. So just like Hengetsu Dachi. Reverse. Arms around. Reverse. Crossing. Palms up. Over shoulders. And twisting. Left leg bent, both feet flat. Ankle over, hands up, hip down. Elbows to the floor. And shoulders back. Try to pull your shoulders into your spine. Other side, both feet flat. Ankle over, hands up, hip down. Elbows to the floor. Shoulders back. Up, head up and down. Left to right. Ear to shoulder. And around. Reverse. And then shake it out. All right. Turn around, straighten your gi. All right. Okay. So the theme for this month is the kata jitte. So there is a technique in the kata where 1, 2, in the front stance, tiger mouth. You go to sagi-ashi dachi, and then you come crashing down into front stance. So that's where sagi-ashi dachi is in the kata, and that's what we'll be ending on today in terms of developing skills. So, like I promised, like Yaguchi said this class, first we'll do some conditioning. So you understand what the stance is like, then we'll understand what we were trying to get at, and then we'll do those parts of the kata. Okay, so the conditioning part. Let's first start with left leg sagi-ashi dachi, so right leg up. Okay, so just hands to the side, keeping your balance. So just maigiri, snap out and back, keeping your stance each time. I'm gonna get off this tape. Okay. Ready? Ich, ni, sam, shi, go, keep your stance, look, sich, hach, two, ju, kayage, ich, ni, sam, don't put your foot down, shi, go, look, sich, hach, two, ju, kikome, thrust, don't put your foot down, ich, ni, sam, shi, go, look, sich, hach, Q, Ju, come. Okay, 30 moves to one leg. That's part of the conditioning. Okay. Other leg, right leg sagi-ashi dachi. Okay, remember, all moves, keep your leg up in the air. Okay, so conditioning. Right leg sagi-ashi dachi, first 10, maigiri. Ready? Ich, ni, thumb, shi, go, roku, shichi, hachi, Q, Ju, kayage. No, put your foot down. Ich, ni, sam, shi, go, roku, shichi, hachi, Q, Ju, kikome, ich, ni, sam, shi, go, rock, sich, hach, Q, Ju, name. Okay, so clearly maintain your balance on one leg. It's pretty difficult for endurance. So let's do, instead of moving our lower body, our upper body. Now your lower legs are tired. This drill will have a little more impact. So again, left leg down, right leg up. Okay. Just Shokusaki, punching shoot up. Your left hand out. Okay. Ich. Knee. Some. Shi. Go. Look. Sich. Hutch. Q. Ju. Get on by. Ich. Knee. Some. Shi. Go. Boku. Shichi. Hachi. Q. Ju. Rising block. Ich. Knee. Some. Shi. Go. Hook. Sich. Hutch. Q. Ju. Yame. Definitely should feel it down by your calf, right now near your Achilles. Definitely you're trying to hold your weight up, keep balance. Okay. Right leg sagi-ashi. So left leg up. Okay. Again, right hand out. Chokuzuki. Ich. Knee. Some. Shi. Go. Hook. Sich. Hutch. Q. Ju. Get on by. Ich. Knee. Some. Shi. Go. Boku. Shichi. Hachi. Q. Ju. I go to Ich. Knee. Some. Shi. Go. Look. Sich. Hutch. Q. Ju. And should really feel that down there. Okay. So here's where the magic comes. So we're all really familiar with this drill where you do. Okay, everyone here's a black belt. So we've seen the drill where, and during the Don exam for brown belts, black belt, you go Maigiri, Kiage, Shiro, or I'm sorry, for brown to black, it's Maigiri, Kiage, Kikome, down. Okay. So, oh, they only do 2 kicks now? I guess. Okay. So yeah, and black belts will do a Shiro instead. So usually what I see happens is I can tell on the first kick if this person is going to lose their balance or not. This is what I look for. They're a nice front stance. Normally they stand up, kick their leg, and they got a straight leg down here. And then they try to do Kiage and have a straight leg, and you see them start to fumble, and then they come down. So noticeably, camera angle's a little lower, but you can see my head go straight up, kick, kick, down. Right? Large change difference. The ones that can do this generally handle better. They keep their head relatively low. Now, angle's different, so my head's gonna rise a little bit, not a whole lot. 1, 2, 3. So trying to keep my head at the same level as that right arm. So what they're doing, instead of hiking this leg up and going up, keeping this leg back. Down. That's where sagi-ashi comes in. So how does that feel? So interesting, I had to figure out what's happening here. So textbook of modern karate. You know, this is Okazaki's famous book. Look at the stance section. Every single stance has just 1 page dedicated. Cat stance, half moon stance, etc. The only stance that has more than 1 page is front stance and one-legged stance. Both these pages. So basically a full page of text and a full page of pictures. Okay, so if it's going to require that much explanation, for this, then it's clearly pretty important. Most others, you notice, I'll flip to a prior page. Hourglass gets one page on this side, and then cat leg stance gets another page. Every single other stance only gets one page in a book. Meanwhile, front stance and cat leg stance, I'm sorry, one front stance and crane leg stance get 2 pages. Must be pretty important. So it's not one that's practiced a whole lot, but it has a lot of applications. Every single kick, what stance are you using? Single legged. So when you're kicking, you're not just standing up in your leg and throwing your leg out there. When you're kicking, you're bracing the floor with that one leg. So that is a stance. So every single kick, sagi-ashi, dachi. Okay. Except for maybe the second kick of toby-gari, which is the jumping kick. But which means that is an active bent leg. Just like in front stance, active bent leg. Back stance, active bent leg. Kibidashi, bent legs. Sochin-dachi, both of them bent. Every single stance you've got out there, one of the legs is bent. Well, in the case of sagi-ashi dachi, that's going to be the supporting leg, which means it's working. And after doing 30 reps of any exercise on one leg, you can start feeling it working. So where does this come down to? Front stance. I'm going to use this piece of straw. The red line is your thigh, and the blue line is your shin. So imagine front stance. You got to, maybe not 90 degrees, but something closer to like maybe 110 degrees. Your front leg is bent. Okay. Kibidachi, both legs are, bent. Maybe not. If you're really good, you can do 90, but most people are closer to 110, 115, 120 degrees. Okay. Back stance, same thing. The back leg. The back leg of back stance is bent just like the front leg of front stance. Okay. What's the front leg doing in back stance? So the front leg is clearly not bent like this. That would be kibidashi. The front leg is almost straight. Okay, which for sagi-ashi dachi, you're not straight, you're almost straight. So not here, but slightly bent. Not bent like this, that's cat stance. Almost bent. So not down here, not straight up and down, but slightly bent. This right here, where you bend your knee. Once I bend my knee, now every muscle around my knee is engaged and holding it together. My knee's straight, I'm just sitting on my bones. They're stacked on top of each other. But the moment they bend, I have to tighten up all those muscles to make sure I don't just completely bend. So that is the active part of stance, just like this is non-acceptable front stance. That's front stance. This is non-acceptable kibidashi. That's kibidashi. This is non-acceptable sagi-ashi dachi, where my leg is stripping down. Pretty much, between my heel, I put my heel on this blue line. So right now my hip, my heel are both above this blue line. They're still above that blue line, but my knee is in front of the straight line. So you're going to actively bend that knee. So I could tell who was bending their knee, who wasn't, because if you weren't bending your knee, you had trouble maintaining balance. But if you did bend your knee, even rotational forces or rising forces or downward forces, your knee is bent to actively control that. So let's do those drills again. I gave you 10 minutes to condition, except this time, slightly bend your knee and try to, not lock, but brace your knee in place. Okay, so let's do left leg, sagi-ashi dachi. So again, mai-gari. Okay, right leg mai-gari. Okay, and then keiage, then keikome. Then remember, not straight, slightly bent. Ready? Right leg up. Okay, slightly bend your knees. Ready? Ich, knee, some, shi, go, work. Sich, hach, kyu, ju, keiage, ich, knee, some. Even sideways, you need to bend your knee. Shi, go, look, switch, hutch, Q, Ju. Now the chest, kick home hard. Ich, knee, some, she, go, look, switch, hutch, Q, Ju. Equally as fatiguing, but everyone had much more balance. The kome is extremely hard to do with a straight leg. So that's why I ended that one. That really tests your balance. Right leg sagi-ashi, left leg kicking. Ready? Maigiri, kiage, kikome. Slightly bent. Ich, knee, some, shi, go, roku, shichi, hachi, kyu, ju, kiage, ich, knee, some, shi, ooh, off the tape, go, look, sich, hutch, kyu, ju, kikome, thrust. Trying to keep my balance here. Off the tape. Ich, knee, some, shi, go, look, sich, hutch, kyu, ju. Okay. So it's going to feel equally hard to hold your balance. But clearly with a bent knee, you're not tilting around as much. Okay. So how does this apply to the kata? So again, move from the kata after the ki is 1, 2, and then shifting my right leg, sagi-ashi dachi, and coming down into the next technique. So before we jump into that, let's do the next closest move, which is similar in foot pattern, which is from heian yandan. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so in this case, your foot's pointing this way into sagi-ashi dachi, and you attack this way, yoko into zenkutsu dachi. So let's start. Right leg sagi-ashi dachi, left leg's the one that moves. Okay, so start from here. Okay, 1 count each time. Left leg kicks and then elbow. Ich, back, knee, back, some, back, shi, back, go. Okay. Now this time, instead of Hurricane MP, go Yakuzuki. The idea is get down to the Yakuzuki as fast as possible. So after you kick, down as quick as possible. Okay. So you want a shorter period of time between you strike, punch. Okay. Again, same leg, right leg. Ready? Ich. Faster. Get down fast. After you kick, your focus is coming down as fast as possible. Ready? Knee. In fact, the moment this leg comes up, the moment the leg starts coming back, the Yakuzuki is starting. Okay. Some. Shi. Go. Look. Sich. Faster down, faster down. Hutch. Here we go. Yeah, drop it on a punch. Q. Two. Okay. Other leg. So we're kicking left leg first. Now we're kicking right leg. Let's first do the kata, MP. Then we'll do Yakuzuki active. Okay. So right leg up. Left hand below, right hand on top. Okay. So Kage and then land MP as fast as possible. Itch. Just do MP for now. We'll do knee. Some. Shi. Go. Okay. So same technique from here in Yanda, Kage Iriken. Instead of MP, Yakuzuki this time. Okay. So remember, get down as fast as possible for Yakuzuki. Ready? Itch. Yakuzuki. Knee. Sergei starting second. Yeah, there we go. Some. Faster down, Sergei. Kick, get down immediately. Shi. Go. Rock. The punch should start as your leg starts coming back. Sich. There we go. Hutch. Two. Two. Okay. So, although that's the right foot direction of facing one way and turning Yoko, that's not exactly the inducement. So, in the kata, you notice once he moves forward, there's a Uriashi. Okay, so after you come up into a single-legged stance, when you step in, there's a Uriashi. So your feet will shuffle forward, which means if I start on the cross here, when I kick, when I land, I should have been off the mark. Now, that's not Heian Yandan, so we're not going to do it for that one. So for this kata, we're going to do just like the kata in Jitte. So hand forward, leg forward is hand down, switch hands, and then Uriashi. Okay. But I want this when you go down, not just falling down. Same feeling as this. Punching down. So don't just kind of straight leg. Remember, sagi-ashi dachi, bent leg, not straight, bent. So from here, really push off that rear leg the entire time. You're driving just like you were throwing a Yakuzuki, but instead doing double tiger mouth. Okay, so let's do the move from the kata. We'll start with our left leg. So again, left leg's in kutsudachi. You can face toward. I'm doing sideways so you can see my knee a little better. So from here, left leg forward, left hand down, right hand up. Okay. So sagi-ashi dachi, left leg, itch. Okay. Now pushing into right leg front stance, Uriashi left leg. Knee. We need to leave that mark. Back. Left leg forward. Itch. Okay. Slightly bent. Knee. Okay. Don't feel like you're winding up to go. Feel like you're throwing Yakuzuki. Throw your weight into it right away. Don't lean back. Don't wind up. Don't hover. Just immediately go down and in. Okay. Left leg forward again. Ich. Knee. Drive in hard. Set. Left leg. Ich. Right knee. Drive. Knee. Okay. This time, one count. Obviously, it feels like two moves. So here, 1, 2. The moment you get your posture in sagi-ashi dachi, start driving it. Okay. So for this, pretend your hands are vertically above each other. Okay. So for the tiger mouth, so almost if you're holding the stick. If we would add weapons in the kata, I would feel like this is a pressing of a stick, but not apart, not way too close, like you're holding a stick over your foot. Okay, so that's where the hands are. Left leg again. Okay. One count. You can go toward the camera if that helps. That way you're not turning your neck to watch me. Left hand down, right hand up. Hitch. Sergey, face the camera. Left leg toward the camera. Yeah. Sergey, face toward the camera. Yeah, that way you can see me the entire time. Neat. Some. She. Feel like you're really driving, not like you're holding back. But the moment you start falling forward, your rear leg is driving the entire time. No pause. She. The moment the pitcher starts swinging, they don't start slow, then come over fast. It's right away. Feel like you're pitching right into it. Go. The moment you move, drive in. Walk. There we go. Sit. Hatch. Cute. Ju. So just for positioning, the top hand's about where your face is. The bottom hand's slightly above your belt. Okay. I don't know what you'd be grabbing right there. That's the position. So it's not below the belt, not above the head. But if I were to get lower, hand in front of the face, the other hand slightly above the belt. Okay. Right leg. Okay. So I'm gonna go sideways for the first couple, and then we'll switch to front view. So right leg forward, right hand down, left hand up. Remember, when you come across, your hands switch position. So basically, right hand down, right leg forward, switch. So easiest way to think of it, whatever the bent leg is a lower hand. So right leg's bent, right hand's low, left leg's bent, left hand's low. Okay, right leg forward, right hand down. 2 counts. Which drive, knee. Remember, yuri-ashi off this. So my right foot is on the blue line. When I finish, I'm going to leave that blue line. So Sergey, make sure you push off. So when you come up here, Sergey, your leg is going to leave the spot where it is. Yes. Drive off, like you're taking a running start. Yes, you're going to really throw yourself at the camera. Okay, right leg down. Ready? Itch. Knee. Feel like you're punching yakuzuki. Yakuzuki jodan. Feel like that with your right hand. Knee. Knee. 3、2、4、2、5、2. Jessica, move back a little so you can hear Yashi a little more in. Yeah, try to put your heel back to the wall. Look. Neat. Right leg forward, Jessica. Left leg swings up. Sichi. Neat. Okay. 1 count this time. Okay. Straight in, but slight pause at the top of sagi-ashi dachi. Enough to bend your leg and collect your power. So not just 1, 2, but a moment of power, then go. So show your sagi-ashi dachi. Right leg, 1 count. Pitch. You should have a moment of a rest to get to the top of sagi-ashi dachi. You shouldn't be moving. Neat. Feel like you're punching double hand. Throw your weight at them. Some. Yeah, there we go. Throwing your hand at the throat. Shoot. Go. Hook. So both these techniques, Sergey, your thumbs are pointing to the sky. Well, your thumbs are pointing laterally, but your palm is vertical. Yes. So almost like spear hand, but with thumbs out. Okay. So this is called tiger mouth, like you're catching someone in the throat. Okay. Sich. Hutch. Really throw yourself into that. Shoot. Power off that leg. Shoot. So again, in the kata, this is not it's not an easy move like that. It's a very violent move. So when you're here, 1, 2, slow. To really drive. Okay. So sagi-ashi dachi. You can obviously see it in gankaku when they go 1, 2, then explode and punch. That is clearly very explosive. Should be the same feeling here, just like heian nidan or heian yandan. 1, 2, ending with a hard elbow to the chest. Same feeling here. This is just as strong driving into them. Okay, so let's go to the kata. We count first, focus on those strong points, and then we'll see if we can do it without the count. So I'm gonna go sideways because I don't have enough room to do it going and back. So I'm starting over there. Okay, so you just need one stance back from the back wall, and you should have enough room. 5 knots, jitte. Yo. 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10、1、2、3、4、気合い。バーン !1、2、3、4、explode。 8, slow, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, go. Boom. Final arm, right arm forward. Right leg, right arm forward. Yame. No. Okay. Let's try the whole thing. 1 count slowly. So similar rhythm. I'm doing it sideways, so it'll be hard to watch me, but whole thing, 1 count slowly. dachi, jitte. Yo. Hajime. Boom. Right leg forward. There we go. Yame. All right. Watch. So, first drill was sagi-ashi dachi. It's in a lot of kata. So you have yandan. You have chinte. You have jitte. Let's see. It's technically from here, almost. And here, we teach it that way, but that's clearly not how the kata cadence is. It's actually straight kiage backward. But I can tell if someone understands the sagi-ashi dachi, they can do that well in Heian-Nida. So it's in a lot of kata, just like Hangetsu dachi. It's more of a transition stance, great for kicking. As you saw with the arms, it's pretty difficult when you're doing more than straight back and forward. We start doing rising, downward, moving sideways techniques. It gets pretty difficult. So again, heel on the cross. This is a relaxed stance, straight up and down. That's sagi-ashi dachi. Knees slightly forward. Not something that's really visible inside the gi pants. So I tried it several times, and I showed in the gi pants this and this look the same, other than the fact I'm an inch shorter. So I can't see that when you if you do it, but I can sure tell if you're kicking like this, you got a straight leg as opposed to kicking like this. And I know you actually bend your leg. So that's one of the measures of they have a good sagi-ashi dachi, then their kicks are very strong. So any questions about sagi-ashi dachi within the kata or it's in general conditioning?
Yeah, is there a good way to practice that outside of training?
So one of the things about sagi-ashi dachi that makes it real hard, especially if you have inefficient techniques. I'm gonna put a finger on the wall here as a point. So if I were to kick and my leg were not to be stable, let's say I'm doing this terrible kicks, clearly my knee's not going to be able to support that very well. So the predicate is that when you kick, it's a clean singular direction movement. So like when you punch, singular direction. When you block, singular direction of force, not this or that. So if you can't do that, then one of the better ways to just count to 600, 500, 1,000, whatever it be. Okay, just get that clean first, and take the weight off balance. In terms of balancing, you really want to up the ante. I think you've done this before. Glass of water. Clearly, I can't have an unstable stance, have the water slipping all over the place. So one in each hand on carpet. That's definitely something to try that. Now, you don't have to kick strong. I don't have to be throwing my weight, but you do have to at least get that movement going. And if you don't want to have a water or whiskey, just maybe oh, it doesn't matter. Like maybe just two, like, oh my gosh, I put them in the other room. Hold on a second. Oh, here we go. These are just like 3-pound weights. Just something to hold bounce. Well, obviously, water is nice and dynamic, but if you want something solid, this one weigh your stance down, especially if your hand's low. This one is just how you work yourself out. And then you have to have a good stance to maintain that extra leverage. If you want to be evil, this is just a shoulder workout. Okay, but yeah, so stability of the leg. If you have unclean techniques, yeah, it becomes really hard. So that's why I'm always a big proponent of not this. That's a terrible stance. So same thing with sagi-ashi dachi. You can't be kicking and have your knee, well, it's not easy to do it. Have your knee moving out of place. That's just unhealthy. So yeah, start just simple. Hey, I'm gonna help something else control my body weight. And then if you want to condition, I'm gonna do a technique. I'm gonna trade legs, just making sure that your stance, a little extra weight. I would not advise a chest weight at this point in time, but that would be a little too much leverage. So yeah, go ahead and ruin your carpet with cups of water. Just ruin your carpet. So yeah, so sagi-ashi dachi, again, 2 pages dedicated in textbook of modern karate, 2 pages dedicated to front stance, 1 page for every single other stance. There's a reason for that. It's a very hard stance to master. Okay. Okay, so next week on Thursday, I'll probably do kibadachi because we have those really hard techniques. Kibadachi used a lot in Jitte, so we'll focus on that one. That one will be an all ranks class. It's going to be very similar to how we learned kibadachi and Heian Sandan. So you don't have to know Jitte, although it is nice to finish class each day. All right, let's finish class. Sit up. Maxo. Maxo Yame. Dojo-kun. Seek perfection of character. Be faithful. Endeavor. Respect others. Refrain from violent behavior. Show me, hey. Hey.